Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel for another tarot pick a card reading. In today's reading, we are going to dive into your current reputation and more specifically how this person that you might specifically have on your mind is viewing you. So if you don't have a person specifically on your mind, it's just the general public, I suppose. But yeah, we are going to get into this. So make sure you get yourself into a receptive mode. If you need to know how to do that, check out my video link down below as always on how to pick a card using your intuition. But once we get started, we have our group 1, group 2, and group 3. Timestamps are provided below. I'll see you at your time. Alrighty, group 1, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today about your current reputation. So let's first see, flipping cards. Okay, let's first see with your oracle card, your archetype, what your general energy is. So we have pioneer, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before, compulsive need to keep moving on. And then our tarot cards, I got a new deck, super excited about it. We have the King of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, the, what is this, 6 of Cups, the 9 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so right away with all of this sword energy, you are definitely a very thoughtful person and thought-provoking is what I wanted to say. So I feel like in the current public eye, you are coming out as someone who is really trying to do better for themselves. I mean, this immediately makes me think of a light worker or somebody that is very focused on bringing light to situations, but mainly their own. I mean, pioneer is very self-driven, self-focused. We do have the King of Pentacles here, so that could be a really strong component in your energy right now with your reputation. You could be like a leader in your job or doing something very publicly where people can see that you have maintained some kind of stability in your life. And I feel like this is not something that has come without trial and error for sure. Because with the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords and 10, it's like people are seeing you go through this area of like trying to untrigger yourself, trying to move on from certain self-destructive thought patterns. I feel like you could be very well known for that. Maybe you actually are someone that makes comments about things like this, like on how to improve yourself and how to be a more stable person. That is kind of the general gist that I'm picking up right away. Now with the 6 of Cups, it feels like there are a lot of people from your past that look at you as someone who remembers the past too. I feel like you are someone that maybe shares a lot of memories online, or you do something, like I said, very publicly that shows that you've grown and that you've maintained some kind of stability. So I'm assuming that you also, like I said, may have talked about some hard topics or things that you've gone through. Maybe that's kind of what it draws you to show yourself is, you know, different situations that you have stability. And this kind of gives me someone that has like a Taurus rising or a Taurus midheaven, or something like that with this energy for sure. Or just, I mean, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn here with the King of Pentacles in general. But there is this vibe of like fronting that way and almost showing up in a more stabilized energy than what you might actually be operating in. This gives me the vibe with all the swords here that you might post, like I keep saying words or saying, so maybe this could be memes, maybe this could be just something that displays the almost dark humor that lies within you. Or this part of you that is, like I said, really has had struggles and is trying to regain some sort of strength after that time period. There is this indication too that maybe you have some sort of gift when it comes to like bringing power to old things. Like I think you are someone that has been very challenged in life, and you know, sometimes good situations, like in the moment, like when you look at it in hindsight, like a lot of people can be like, oh, I can't even see like the positive in that. But like, I feel like there is something in you that is able to look back and kind of see your own place in a situation, your own position, and what got you there in the first place. We do have compulsive need to keep moving on coming out with the shadow energy as well. So I do feel like maybe there's a part of you that is very like fix it and move on type energy that they are picking up as well. So with the 10 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and 8 of Swords again, though, I feel like you could be in this very and Six of Cups, you could be in this very reminiscent energy where maybe you're not, solely saying like, I'm sad, I'm going through, like you're not like direct about it, but there is something about your presence that is a little melancholy. Maybe you're just down right now, and subtly your feed, I want to say, shows that. So that could be another part of this. But overall, I do feel like you give this sense of stability in hard times, and also like you're someone who thinks a lot about hard times. Like you've been there before is what I want to say. So let's pull some clarifier cards to see more specifically what kind of energies people are picking up from your energy. What is your current reputation in group 1? Yep, we have open your heart. So exactly, that's what I was saying. And we have the heart here as well. So I feel like you are very heart-led, heart-fed. You do things that make you feel good, and you've learned how to open up your heart. And people are seeing, like I said, that processing, that, maybe you were someone that was a little bit more doomy, gloomy, and you've become a lot more heart-centered. We do have someone else, and then we have caution. Okay, so I feel like someone is coming through here that is viewing you as being someone that is trying to heal from heartbreak. Maybe someone that has, recently opened up their heart to someone else. But with caution here too, it makes me think as well that you're being seen as someone who is very cautious. That song Chronically Cautious, that it's coming in. Because there's a whole part of it too about talking about moving on impulse. So I think this can be something that you struggle with. You're not exactly an impulsive person, yet sometimes that's what the heart requires. So I feel like you are really kind of putting yourself out there and trying your hardest to seem like you are open to other people, and you do, I don't know, like I said, there's the caution and wariness and melancholy energy that's coming from you too. So it's something where it's like this person, it makes me think maybe you're like out in the dating game again, but you're not exactly ready to like fully launch is what I want to say. So maybe you have some soft launches of people or things that you've been around or something like that. But there's something about you right now that's kind of not exactly ready to commit yet to someone else, I feel like. And maybe that's where you're at right now, is that you're just looking for fun, and that is a part of your current reputation. So let's pull some more cards here. Could also be that someone else is just worried that you are moved on too, though, because you do just front like you have everything under control, and here we have control, so that's funny. Honesty. I feel like you've been very honest with where you're at. Like you have I want to say you've committed to being honest about that. Unfinished business. Yeah, so there's a part of you that I feel like is very certain and has control over a situation. And, I think that is a mental thing. You give me the impression of someone that is telling themselves a narrative and trying to roll with that, even though they don't 100% feel that way. So I feel like this, and like I said, it feels like there's a person specifically that's coming through for this pile, and they feel like they're seeing you as someone that knows that there's certain things that you're trying to shove down and kind of suppress. But they know that there's unfinished business here. So it's funny because with honesty as well, I don't really get a super like honest energy. I feel like there's a lot of self withholding. Like maybe they're seeing you, like I said, is like trying to replay a narrative or trying to tell yourself that something is something else, basically. Like you're really putting on a front in this person's eyes. But your general reputation, like I said, is someone that is trying to work on things. So, I mean, putting on a front is kind of natural. You know what I mean? Like if you are trying to get past something, like you have to kind of fake it till you make it. And I feel like that's sort of where you're at right now. And, part of that is that you're in unknown territory, and that's really scary for you. I think people are viewing you as someone that's really trying to deal with that with a sense of optimism, in a sense of like, well, I know that things can get better. Like that's the part of you that I feel like is very apparent right now, is that there is an openness to your energy that knows that there is something there, but out there for you, I should say. But there is this tendency to kind of retreat and maybe hide that awareness from yourself, because you can get very anxious and caught up in cycles. So currently, I feel like your reputation really stands strong in being like in that transition period though, like overall. So let's see more specifics with this deck. For my pile number 1, what is their current reputation? We have a semi-sextile allowing. Exactly. Like you're in your baby plant phase. Like I've used this saying before. I actually think I did a whole thread about it on Instagram about how when you are in this transition phase, you're seeing the potential in something that might be currently separated. So what that means to me in this context of this reading is people are seeing you as trying to find hope in a situation and maybe not exactly knowing the outcomes of where things are going, but you're kind of just allowing things to go. There might be some cycles of, mental control that's happening here, but overall, like your front is very open. Yeah, we have Gemini. So there, I always think of like this yin yang two-faced kind of energy with this, and not two-faced in a bad way necessarily, because like I said, you have to front certain narratives. Gemini is all about the narratives. I think you're trying to allow new narratives into your life right now. So there could be some different back and forth with your energy where it's like I said, there's some stability and understanding, and then it turns into this question of, what's the truth basically. So we have Neptune as well. So that's that confusion or that kind of like turn in energy. And then we have Chiron. So again, a lot of healing going on here as well. You're just in that fluid transitional phase. I mean, all of these are very transitional energies where things are opening up. So they don't open up without a little sting though with Chiron here. And even Neptune, I mean, this is breaking a lot of illusions, but also, like I said, kind of fronting illusions of, I know what I'm healing, I know what I'm going through kind of thing, like, but you're in the middle of it. So I feel like there is a sense that people know that you are in the middle of it, but I think they still have a lot of respect for you with the King of Wands here, or sorry, the King of Pentacles. It's funny I said the King of Wands though, because there is this enthusiasm that you bring with the pioneer spirit. So yeah, I mean, your overall reputation is very like fluid with what you're going through right now. I think it's very, not obvious necessarily like the specifics of what you're going through, but just like the general phase. Like if anyone's ever been there before, they're like, oh yep, they're healing, they're doing that sort of thing. And like I said, to other people, it's just like, oh, these people think they're all perfect and better and stuff like that. And like, I feel like for the few majority of you, that's the case of how you're being perceived. I just feel like, especially with unfinished business here and honesty, you're being really honest with yourself that you are not fully healed and fully in control of your emotions in the situation, but you are in control of the narrative, and that's what you are trying your hardest to play on and find power in. So that being said, group 1, I hope this message resonated for you guys, and if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a personal reading with me, check out the link below as always to my snip feed, or you can DM me on Instagram, whatever works best for you. Otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle, and I will see you in a later video. Peace. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what your current reputation is, and if there is a specific person that comes through, how they are currently viewing you, if they have more details and whatnot. So that being said, let's look at your cards. I did just get a new tarot deck for my birthday. I'm really excited. My birthday is September 5th. I'm a Virgo, so new tarot decks are on par. But anyways, let's start with your archetype card to see what your current vibe is, I guess. So it says Saboteur highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes that it would bring to your life, induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So you could be a little bit in your rebellious energy, I want to say. Like, this gives me the vibe of someone who is like defiantly trying to succeed. And I say defiantly because you might be clashing with some of your superiors. That's kind of what I'm seeing right away. So let's see with our cards here. We have the Emperor, speaking of superiors. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Two of Pentacles. And we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so I just have to note that I just paused the video because I was boiling some water. And I literally said to myself when I put it on, because I put it on right before I started this reading, I'm like, whatever reading or whatever time that water starts boiling, I know that there is something seething going on. So pile number 2, congratulations. That's already on brand though with what we were getting with the cards, I feel like, because so much of this energy is very like confident and very self-assured, but going against authority or going against social norm. I think there's a part of you that is very like I said, confident. And I think you have an enthusiasm about you that makes it's kind of like charismatic or just being very endearing with the steps that you take. Like I said, you might step on people's toes or might do some things that are like, I don't know, just like defiant to authority. That's what I keep wanting to say. And with the Four of Cups here, I feel like it's just because you're realizing that there's certain things that you're like, I don't really want to take the bait here. I don't really want to do that. Like there's some kind of maturity I feel like that you've gained over time where you realize that you have a little bit more selectivity of what you do. Maybe it's like a current workplace situation where you are just like understanding that you have some kind of, not superiority necessarily, but seniority. That's what I was looking for. Like there's some kind of like selectability in your energy where you can decide if something's like not really suited for you anymore or whatnot. Now, even outside of the work realm, it's funny because that was the strongest thing. So maybe you are well known in your work realm and that's where a lot of like your reputation is formed. You spend a lot of time working. But then also on top of that though, I feel like you in your personal relationships are really taking that sort of thing into account too. There's like some things that you're like, I don't really feel like dealing with that, or I don't really feel like this, that, or the other thing. Like you have a very strong opinion basically about what you are willing to put time and energy and effort into. And when you don't feel like you have kind of like a conclusive thought about those certain things, like sometimes you just stir the pot just because. Like there's some parts about you that are very like, I want to say defiant, but I feel like there's a better way to explain it. Let me get an example. It's like being like on your toes all the time. Like there's a part of you that is very much ready to spring into action and take required steps to do things. Like you're a good worker. You're a good person in the sense of like you're willing to do things for people and do the activities and stuff like that, but once things start to get a rhythm to them, you get the taste out of your mouth and you're like, all right, like or I should say you can't get the taste out of your mouth because they became a rhythm. So it's one of those things where I feel like you do sometimes have to stop and recognize where you get sort of heated and need to add more flavor into your life. And, you know, a lot of that can come through your routines or that sort of thing. But just generally becoming aware of, like I said, the things that don't serve you or the things that don't feel right for you. You are someone that is known for having a selectivity. So another thing though, going back to the work thing, I feel like you are a very independent worker. You could be a kind of worker where like you go off and kind of do things with your own twist, but you're trusted to do that. You know, with the Emperor energy here, I do feel like you do have a certain kind of authority, even if you aren't in a place of authority in your life. Like there's some kind of energy within you that is very willing and able, and I think that gets you authority, and like I said, almost free reign in a way to have that certain selectability. So your opinions are actually kind of respected here is what it looks like, even though they might come in defiance to the norm. So let's pull some more cards here for group 2 to see more of what their current reputation is, see if there's any specifics energies that are coming out. So we have water sign. Maybe you are a water sign. I'm almost getting to that, like maybe you're like you have a water sign rising or Mars or something like strong like that, or maybe even like like your Saturn placements in a water sign. We have gold digger. Then we have sexuality. Okay, this is funny because I was thinking too, like with your job and like your freeness and not even just your job too, but like in your life in general, I think you have a way of working with the skill sets that you have, so you don't have to do too much. Like I said, that selectivity within you knows that there's certain games that you can play where you get good prizes. Like that makes me think of the saying, like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like you do the opposite of that, and I feel like people they're not resentful of that of you, but they're a little envious of that. I'm just seeing you kind of be very fluid in how you choose to interact in situations, like I was saying with the water sign energy. So it's cool too, because I feel like you're coming out as being someone that really knows how to play the game. And I say cool because I don't think it's taken in a negative way. Even with Gold Digger here, it's like I said, you know how to use your assets to get what you want. Like with Gold Digger here, okay, here's a good example. So I was talking about like the whole authority thing and how you might not actually be of authority, but you're held with authority. Well, with Gold Digger, if we think about like an archetype like that, it could be like someone who, you know, wasn't financially well off, but got with someone who is financially well off because they had other serving assets that like made, you know, the money or the class situations not matter. What's the show called, like Pretty Woman or something like that? I don't know if it's Pretty Woman. It's something woman. But with who is in it? I think it's like no, it's not Angelina Jolie. I don't know. I can't think of exactly like the movie and who it is, but the whole thing is that she's like an escort that like doesn't become an escort, basically. And not saying that that's like your specific example, but it's that energy of being someone that like can elevate themselves based off of more unseen assets. You know, we think of sexuality too as like just being a very attractive person, and with water sign as well. I mean, there could be something just about your natural aura or energy that is very enticing and seducting and gets people to listen to you and gets people to equate you as their equal. Like there's a very strong like sensuous kind of energy with this pile, where you guys have this reputation of being someone who can get what you want because of just that allure, basically, that magnetism that you seem to have. So let's pull some more. Let's see some more juicy juice on my person for pile number 2. What is going on with their current reputation? How are people viewing them? And with this one, I'm not getting like a specific person, honestly. Like I'm getting more of a collective vibe where people are, this is just a general reputation, quite literally. So it's not like one person is coming through and just being like, you know, having their opinions in this reading like I did in other piles, in other readings. So we have flourishing, resistance, and abundance. So I think there's something here, like I said, about your selectivity. With resistance here, I think you, and it's funny because it's like a beautiful little angel like escaping out the window. So I think there's a part of you that is like lovely, endearing, like I said, charismatic. You have this quality to you that like, even if you were like, I don't really like this, but people are like, okay, well, like, what is she looking for? We see 2 kinds of flowers, more of like a wildflower here with the flourishing, and then with abundance here, it's like, you know, more full. And so we're seeing something with that though, with your energy. With flourishing, I feel like I said, like you could be in a good position, things could already be going good for you, but you might have that random selectivity where you're like, actually I'm gonna do this, or actually I'm gonna do that, or now I feel like this. Like there's some kind of random like switch that you kind of put on. And then with abundance here, I feel like you find yourself in better situations. Like you're the kind of person that is always seeking peace, but you understand that peace doesn't come at a cost, and sometimes that cost is recognizing when that peace is no longer your peace. Like there's a very like wise part of you that I don't think necessarily conforms very easily. You know, you have a very like willing personality. It's funny, I am getting a lot of water sign energy here too, like in your aura. Like you just have a very, I don't even know if this is a word, like tempestuous. Is that even a word? I don't know. But like that's what I'm hearing. So I feel like there's a part of you that has that quality and is very like you are tempted by life, you are tempted by opportunity, you are tempted by things that make you feel alive. And when you set out for those things, you always seem to, it's like another loop in your belt, or I don't know how you, see, I always, whenever I'm channeling these common phrases or words, like just, I can't put them together. But that adds to the allure though. That adds to this like alluring, like elusive, sometimes hard to pin down type of energy, because you have so many opinions. So people know of that, but they're also like ambiguous. Like there's a lot of things that it's like very specific things that you have preferences on, and like this kind of makes me think somebody giving you wildflowers and you're like, and they're like, oh, actually she wants these kinds. Like, it's a very similar thing. They're both flowers, but like they look different. They have little unique differences. So I think that is a very important part of how you are seen normally. Let's pull you guys some more cards here to end this reading out on your current reputation and how people are viewing you. So we have North Node and Sagittarius. Exactly. You have a seeker soul. There's a part of you that is really like not even consciously driven. Like you are just so soul driven to figure out what's next. Like I said, like it's another loop in the belt. Is that, I don't know if that's the saying for it. I can't remember. It's driving me nuts. But basically, like I said, you're just gaining experience, and people see you as someone that gains a lot of experience. You're very wise for this. You have a lot of ability to kind of push the bounds and do things maybe that other people can't do or haven't gotten away with. Like you have been able to do that because you have kind of a vision for yourself of all the different possibilities, and you don't let people stop you. I feel like if anything, you put in the hard work to make those aspirations come true. You are not only driven, but you're imaginative, and you have a lot of potential that comes through that part of you, and you exercise it. I feel like you can't help but not exercise it. Or you can't help but exercise it. Like it's funny because this energy I'm trying to ground it, but it's like having a hard time, and I'm feeling like a little like kind of silly about it. So I feel like that can be a lot of like your energy, where I think you don't take yourself too seriously, but there is some like obvious motivation behind it. There's some obvious message behind it. And while it's not exact, or why it's not always like perfect, like there's something about your energy that like makes people feel kind of like, yeah, they're doing their thing. He, she, whoever, they're doing their thing. And, there comes a respect with that. I just have to add. So your ability to kind of find those things in life is very potent in your energy. And that is mainly how people are viewing you, group 2. So I hope this video resonated for you guys. And if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a reading with me, check out my link below to snip feed, or you can DM me on Instagram, whatever works best for you. But otherwise, I'm going to skedaddle, and I will see you in a later video. Peace. Hello, group 3. Last but not least, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what is your current reputation, how are you being viewed. I did just get a new tarot deck, so I will be using that. But first, let's start off with your oracle card of your archetype to see how you're coming out. We have child nature, friendship with animals, communication with nature, spirits, and then we have tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. I really don't feel the shadow for that, honestly. I feel like you are someone who definitely talks about your pet a lot, works with animals, works with kids, posts pictures with animals and kids. I mean, you could be someone that is very loving, very known for that loving energy as well. Let's see, what kind of, what are these called? Tarot cards. Gee whiz. Okay. We have the Four of Swords, the Fool, the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and we have Strength. A couple major arcanas here, guys. That's cool. Okay. So right away, I wanted to say you're an adventurer, and with the Fool coming out, that solidifies that for me, because I feel like you guys are very much the kinds of people to show what you do with your life, where you go, who you love, who you spend time with, which happen to be, maybe kids or animals, or just more tender kinds of relationships. You could be someone that shares a lot of your tender relationships online, but you seem to be a very peaceful person. I was noticing that right away with just how I was like I don't know, channeling the energy for this reading versus my last ones, you seem to be a lot more reserved, calm. Like I said, you share, but like there's a part of you that's very much like, did this, did that. Like you're not like, it changed my life, it was great. You're just like, love this, awesome. Like that's what I'm getting from this. Like it's a very like simple, pleasant type of energy. So you could be someone too, like I said, that you have a lot of adventures or a lot of things that you're really open about. Maybe there are a lot of like traditional things that you have commitments to, like I was saying, like family, friends, animals, your job, even like, or traveling. I mean, like these are the sorts of things that like once you age, I feel like people like, it's kind of like trademarks of like being an older person, quote unquote, or just being like an adult, it feels like. So there's some kinds of things that I'm seeing here where it's like you're really in your element, you're really like following not only like a traditional path, but like some really like, you seem to be having a very pleasant time with it. Whatever it is that you're doing, it feels as it's being reciprocated very well by the public, and your current reputation shows as being someone that is reliable but open, someone that's free and loving and caring. And you know, it's almost kind of boring because it's like, wow, this person is so, you know, they're good basically. With the 10 of Wands and strength here as well, I feel like you have a lot of things going for you. I think you take a lot of time in those environments and really give your love to them. You nurture things. We see kind of twice here with energies of nuzzling in animals. So like I said, you could be someone that does post a lot of pictures with your animal. So, you know, and it's funny because when I think of that sort of energy in the public eye, a lot of the time that is the person that is, like I said, more reserved and keeps it kind of more low key, you know, shows that they have a lot of love to give, but it's like very like centered around specific things. And like I said, you already have a lot of things going for you, so you might not be someone easy to reach, probably because you kind of put yourself in very unique situations where like, I don't know, like I said, there's almost a mystery around you because they see, like people know that certain things that you have in your life, but they don't exactly know where the openings are, is what I want to say. So you could seem like you have a very complete life, which, I mean, yay, what a good thing for people to notice. But let's dive into some more nitty gritty for my pile 3 about what their current reputation is. Ooh. So we have divorce, we have Mercury retrograde, and we have yes. Okay. Why is this kind of giving me like an X? Like, I mean, obviously with like experiencing a breakup, Mercury retrograde, this is kind of making me think that there is somebody that you've had past connections with that could be watching you. I mean, we do have the 4 of Swords out here, so this could be someone you're not in contact with anymore, someone that you've decided that you want to take a break from or needed a break from, or there was just some sort of epiphany that kind of occurred in the relationship that made you feel ready, is what I want to say. And ready might be to really level up and stabilize the things that you already have in your life and really like solidify the foundations that you have. But also, I mean, like there is this energy of someone coming back. So let me get some cards. Actually, I'm going to clarify that for you guys because that seems very specific. Whoa, hello, flying out. Oh yeah, we have the Ace of Swords in the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, someone is definitely trying to communicate with you and they're trying to see if you're open to it. With yes here, I think they are thinking that you will be open to this communication. But they are worried about this whole divorce energy, how things went in the past. Maybe they're, like I said, were miscommunications that led to separation. But there's something here where this person very specifically wants to speak to you because they feel like things have finally changed. Maybe the way that you are nurturing your life now is more appealing to them than how you were going about things in the past. But yeah, that's very interesting. I'm gonna pull another one of these. We have communicate. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So somebody's like dying to communicate with you right now. I'm gonna pull some more like from a different tarot deck and see like what is this side situation that is popping up in your guys' reading. Because it was not like that for my other readings. So there's something going on here. We got some added little tea. We love that. Little side tangent reading. Ah, hello. Okay. Let's pull some cards. 5 of Flowers. This person, like I said, you are in this element of like being very in your element. And I think that's what's interesting here too with the 5 of Flowers. This person's really jealous about how stabilized you are in your life, because with you giving all this love to certain things and stuff, it's almost like they're envisioning like, well, what if I was in that picture? Yeah, we have the Queen of Hedgehogs. Exactly. This person, if it's funny because I'm hearing like this person sees you sitting on a nest egg, like we see in this imagery here. So it's making me feel like you have some certain things that are really growing for you right now. And maybe this person is recognizing that it's like being something that they're interested in. It's interesting though too, because if they're viewing you with this yes, what is this yes? 4 of Swords and Temperance. Yeah. I'm feeling like this breakup period or something like really served you both well. And that's what they are noticing right now. I feel like whatever kind of separation you've been in, you've been able to make amends with different areas in your life that this person may be aware that you were struggling with or needed kind of a change of fate. I mean, we have luck coming out in both areas with the Wheel of Fortune and the yes here. So I think that this person feels like your luck is turning, and that maybe the situations that cause you to need a break or for them to need a break are shifting. And they do feel this fire under their ass, I feel like, a little bit, to get back into your energy, because they know how hard it is to get in there. And I feel like this person has already had a place there. They know that they've had a place there, so they really have some hope that when they communicate with you, they can find their way back in. Obviously, it's your own discretion that can decide this. I feel like I said, you are well off. So if you decide that you want to move past this and do something else, you're more than welcome to do that, and they know that. And they know that you know that. So with the Hierophant here, though, I do feel like you are actually open to this opportunity. You do feel like it will be a kind of fulfillment cycle for you, even though at times like maybe this relationship was a burden, but now you have a different sense of control on life. You have a certain ability to not really let things weigh you down, and to be more open about your expectations. I don't think your expectations, like I said, are the same that they were maybe in this previous relationship, or where things were when you guys left off. There's definitely been some awakenings in the mental space for you and this person. So I feel like they're viewing you as being somewhat keen to them and like wanting to talk to them as much as they might want to talk to you. So let's pull some more cards, guys, to get deeper into this message. I love that little side reading we had going on here. Yeah, so we have Heart Wall and Chance. Exactly, like I said, like this person specifically is recognizing that they might still have a chance with you because they have broken down that heart wall before. And they know that there's a part of you that is still always going to care about them. So, but you know, in a general sense, I feel like people do see that it is hard to get a chance with you because you do have heart walls up. You know, you have your heart for certain things. You're very protective over those certain things. But other than that, you know, I mean, the chance is kind of slim is what it feels like to the public eye. Round and round. Exactly. You stay in your set area, your set things. Like I said earlier, like they see you in your element where you're in your element. Like you are doing and saying and being a part of the things that you want to be a part of. Yeah, we have inner child. So I think there's a part of you, yep, expansive even. So I think there's a part of you that, like I said, is very reserved, yet, you know, is still willing to do things that expand this sense of like love in your heart and your ability to give love. I think you're a very loving person in many people's eyes. That's kind of your general reputation, I would say. But in this person's eyes specifically that's coming through, I do feel like they know that there is a chance for them to come back around and that you guys can actually move past certain things. Maybe this person had a pretty big heart wall up. When it came to you, they had some inner child wounds, but that's like your specialty, is dealing with the inner child wounds and dealing with where people might have issues. I feel like maybe this person in their past could have experienced divorce in some capacity, whether it was them or family members or something like that, that made them form an opinion about it. But I feel like there's something about the way that you have operated and that you act that gives them a change of fate, where they think like things can be repaired. Things do have potential to grow into stability. And while, you know, there might be tension at times, there's some sort of stability in that tension, because it shows that there is like requited love, basically. Like there's some kind of like reciprocation going on here with you and this person. It's fascinating to me too, though, because this yes is so strong. Even just how I place the cards around it, like it's still like very prominent when I'm looking at the cards right now. So I do feel like if you were having questions about how this person is perceiving you, if you were questioning if they were going to come forward to you, the answer is yes. I feel like we currently are in Mercury retrograde, so this person could be definitely reevaluating the space and time that has been going on between you guys. And I think, you know, communication with this person is going to shift. It's going to become different. I think they have different points of view to share, maybe about you specifically, because we see here the tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. So maybe this person experienced you or viewed you, I should say, in the light of someone that could be damaging to them. Maybe they have mother issues, so this is something that they really struggle with. They don't understand a safe, loving home or person. So you kind of, even unintentionally or however it happened, like you showed them a part of you that could potentially destroy them or do something to them that could really change their life and like be a burden to them, and might be something that could be very harmful if they chose to commit to it. So that might have been what like led this person away from you in this situation. But I think, like I said, over time they did have time to reevaluate this breakup between you guys, this distance between you guys, and understand that what they're viewing was not exactly accurate, maybe because of their own heart walls or their fear of not having a chance with you. But now I think they're realizing that loving energy that comes from you, and like I said, like you're the kind of person that once someone's in your heart, they're there. Even if time and space has kind of passed and there's, you know, like I said, there's distance, like there's something here about there being an opportunity still. Because like I said, once you've loved, you've always loved. So if you once loved this person, I think that there's a part of them that is starting to realize that unconditional love does not come from anywhere. And it's actually a privilege to receive that from you. And that is something that they feel very like respected for. Like they feel like respect from you, that you would care about them like that. And now I think their walls are coming down a little bit, where they're starting to like see you as someone that actually is good for them. So let's pull some more cards here. We have Saturn. Exactly. There's a maturing energy here. And like I was saying at the beginning of the reading, like you are being seen in a very mature energy, where you are starting to come to terms with your own adulthood and your own ability to make decisions and to, you know, build a family and build something for yourself, build from love, basically. Yep, we have Virgo as well. So you could be a Virgo. That is a big, strong energy that I'm seeing here and was thinking of earlier. So you could also have a Virgo 10th house or a Virgo Saturn. You know, there's a lot of different ways that this could come out. But what I'm seeing, though, with these energies right away here is that you are being seen as someone who is very much working to improve themselves and be a better person, and not necessarily take the easy route. I feel like if anything, you will make yourself try harder when you know you need to, and that is very encouraging to a lot of people. You know, Virgos are the quiet role models of the zodiac. Like they're the kinds of people that really do walk, or like they walk the walk and talk the talk. Like they can, I mean, in their highest energy, I should say. That's obviously not the case for every Virgo, but there is a very strong part of that energy of when you have Virgo energy to act with integrity. So even if it's, you know, not always like the most straightforward path, like these people do find that way. And I feel like you are seen as, you know, overcoming that. We do have Square, which is challenge. So it's like overcoming those challenges. I feel like you have looked at the hurdles in your life as being something that you can work with and that you'll adjust to, basically. There are certain powers in your life that I feel like you really submit your will to. Like you can be very subservient to restrictions. Like when there is a wall up or something like that, you're like, okay, that's a wall. Like I'm not gonna put my energy in there, basically. And I feel like going back to this person that specifically was commenting on you, that was coming through, I feel like they see you as someone that, you know, like I said, you do have certain walls up, but that's the thing about Virgo is they have very firm beliefs and conclusions, but it comes through trial and error and really like learning for yourself the best way through and whatnot, and then believing in that. And then the thing is, though, with this energy that can be kind of a problem is that when it comes to new experiences and opening up your heart and finding, you know, that chance or that ability to grow, sometimes there can come a lot of hesitations and a lot of worry about what that would bring. So that being said, that's why you kind of keep your court closed, your counsel close. You know, you don't overextend yourself, because within your world of what you've picked, you are overextended. You know, you've really slim pickings your life, but in a way where it's like you're constantly working in those areas. But like I said, this person, and maybe you have had some hard time with adjusting to each other's daily routines and to maybe submitting to the problems of another person. And maybe that was a big change in this energy. Like I said, you could have been seen in a mother type energy where this person was very interested in what you brought to the table. And like, could, you know, you guys, it's like two hyper independent people where like you guys might have both tried to help each other, but it could have felt smothering because the other person's so hyper independent. Like, that's kind of what I'm seeing as like a past thing that was going on. But now it's realizing that, okay, these challenges served a purpose for you to be a more pure person in how you love and in how you give and nurture and take care of things. Yep, we have the 4th house as well. So I feel like I want to pull some more cards. I just kind of want to see like an outcome of this energy with this person, because that's a question right now. So let's see. What is this outcome energy for this person that we're picking up on? All right, we have the energy is gaining momentum. Look at the bigger picture. That's what we were just talking about. That can be sometimes a struggle for both of you. Prosperity lies ahead. And believe in the impossible. Okay. Yeah. So I fully confirm what I've already just said about this person and where things are kind of headed. I do feel like there is positive momentum gaining because you guys both are now looking at the bigger picture. You're both able to see that maybe the little details of how you were relating were making bigger problems than what they were actually like would have been considered emotionally for one. But then also I feel like those little tweaks can make a really big difference. And I think that's the prosperity that lies ahead with the new moon in Taurus here. Believe in the impossible, though, I feel like is, you know, when it comes like the divorce card coming out here, I feel like it felt like a final ending. But Mercury retrograde, you know, could have happened around, or like our shadow of Mercury retrograde, or I mean, we're even in Venus retrograde too. So any of the retrogrades, if the breakup or anything like that happened during that, there could be, I mean, that's the indication to me that this is not a final sort of thing, that this person and you did really need to reconfigure how you were contributing to the relationship, how you were loving, how you were showing up. And it feels like very unexpectedly you are going to see the change in this person and they are seeing it in you. And I feel like this is coming through your reputation as well. Like I said, you're holding yourself in a very obvious, like, glowy light. And it's hard not to recognize the change in somebody when maybe that was something that was only achieved when you were nurturing your relationship with this person. Like now you've expanded into bigger things, you're nurturing bigger things, you have more kind of a creative edge to you that this person is noticing. And I would say that they're feeling very similar. I feel like there's like some sort of nest egg that they've had as well, that they're feeling like you guys are equal enough to share a little bit, and whether that actually be like money or whatever, but to me it feels like you guys both have good foundations and you're going to be able to meet each other, and that's kind of the impossible that you didn't see before. So wow. So that was such a little side reading, but I love that for you, group 3. I love when spirit kind of takes over and just gives the message that needs to be heard without, you know, my little limits on it. So that being said, though, I hope you guys like this message, and if you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a personal reading with me, check out the link below as always to my snip feed, or you can DM me on Instagram, whatever works best. Otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle and I'll see you guys in a later video. Peace.